Hello, and welcome to the Hardison and Cochran podcast. In today's episode, North Carolina Workers' Compensation Board-Certified Specialist Attorney Ben Cochran discusses interrogatory documents and their role in North Carolina workers' comp cases. Now, here's Ben Cochran.
When either party is trying to obtain additional information in a workers' compensation case, the law allows them to provide interrogatories and requests for the production of documents. What it is a series of questions that are propounded by one side to the other in order to obtain information and documentation that advances the case through litigation. Most commonly, we see identifying information because this gives the opportunity for either side to understand who the other side is that they're dealing with. So in regards to plaintiffs, which I represent plaintiffs are often asked to identify themselves, provide where they live, how long they've lived there, and any and all jobs within a certain period of time. They are also asked who their prior medical providers are, who their current medical providers are. Oftentimes, the other side wants to know whether or not they are pursuing a particular type of benefits, and if so, to what type of benefits are they pursuing. Additionally, they also want to know whether or not there's criminal history involved with the plaintiff, and if so, what were the circumstances arising from that. We also look at and see many questions that are asking whether or not they've been involved in any other accidents prior to the one to which the subject of the interrogatories and requests for production of documents are. And in regards to the request for the production of documents, most commonly what that request is for the medical treatment that has been obtained by the plaintiff. So they want to know the current medical status, current medical records, the providers that provided the medical treatment, and the documentation that demonstrates the type of treatment that was had. Oftentimes we see requests for prior medical treatment within the past 10 years is most commonly what we see. A lot of times we're not able to provide that documentation. So in the alternative, we will provide a release for those specific providers so that the other side can obtain them on their own. You have approximately 30 days without an extension. Extension are common to be had in order to answer the interrogatories. Our office actually works with the plaintiff. We allow the plaintiff to answer the questions as best to their ability, and then they return the interrogatories and requests for production of documents back to us, and then we reassess them, make sure that the details are answering the interrogatories. We make sure all the documentation is put together, and then we serve that on the defendants so that they have that information and we have verified it.
We'd like to thank you for listening to the Hardison and Cochran Attorneys at Law podcast. If you would like a free consultation about you or a loved one's legal situation, please go to lawyernc.com. For a full list of episodes, please visit lawyernc.com/podcast.
Listening to this podcast does not create an attorney-client relationship between you and Hardison and Cochran. Hardison and Cochran does not accept new clients until obtaining a signed agreement. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be intended or taken as legal advice. If you have a legal matter, contact a licensed attorney in your state about your specific set of circumstances.